The Villainess, to prevent herself from dying, wants to marry the Demon Lord. For this, she helps him in every way so that he may bring peace to the human and demon race. Aileen's father awaits her daughter to be ready, so that they both may head for the party. She rushes out of the house, apologizing for being late. Her father sees her nervousness on their way. She reveals to him that she got a gift and a note from Claude Jeanne Elmir, who asked her to wear this dress with matching accessories. Aileen's father compliments her, saying she looks elegant. As they approach the mansion, she blushes, amazed that Lord Claude picked out this clothing for her. Her father jokes with her that Prince Cedric could fall in love with her, as that is how mesmerizing she is. When she replies that she won't ever fall for him again, her father tells her that it could benefit their financial situation. Later, when her father overhears the attendees discussing the Oberon company, he is curious about what it is. Aileen explains that she cannot always use the Dotrich family name, and that someone is working hard for them. As they see the women bickering with one another over cosmetics, her father commends her for using the strategy and pitting the ladies against one another. Aileen then says that she has hired several engineers that Prince Cedric had sacked since the gains outweighed the losses. Her father decides to meet with several of his friends, and she notices how pleased he is and hopes nothing goes wrong. After that, Aileen discovers Isaac standing next to her. When she inquires about what he did about the threatening letter, he responds that Almond took care of it. She instructs him to expose it when necessary, and he gladly complies. Isaac then informs her that he has awful news regarding Lady Lilia, as she is missing. He continues by saying Prince Cedric dispatched Marcus to the forest where the demon Lord Claude lives. Aileen becomes concerned upon hearing this, but Isaac reassures her that their lord will not fall to the enemy and that there is a non-aggression treaty. He explains to her that the demon lord instructed him to look for Aileen in a message sent through Almond. Later, as Aileen anticipates Prince Cedric's moves against her as the only suspect in Lilia's abduction, Prince Cedric orders his men to capture her. Demon Lord Claude's aide, Belle, is patrolling the forest and discovers Lilia, whom he brings to Lord Claude. He assumes that she has ties with the Holy Sword Maiden, since she easily passes through the forest barrier. When asked why she came, Lilia replies that Aileen is attempting to kidnap her and that she has been sending her threatening letters, which is why she came here for safety. When she informs him that Aileen still loves Cedric, his mind blurs, and he realizes it's because of the Holy Sword Maiden effect. When his servant is ready to touch her, Claude warns him and teleports Lilia away so he won't affect them any further. Back at the mansion, Cedric claims that Aileen kidnapped Lilia without providing any evidence, and that she did it out of jealousy because Lilia is with him. Aileen laughs at this and tells him that she told him a long time ago that she doesn't love him and asks him to bring the paperwork here to end their engagement. Then, just as their butler is about to inform Cedric of the coming of his older brother, Prince Claude, the demon ruler, bursts through the ceiling. As he lands, he warns Cedric not to bring his weak soldiers into his forest again, before walking up to Aileen's side and complimenting her on how beautiful she is. She is then urged to complete the paperwork quickly, since he is ready to take her with him. As they are ready to go, Cedric calls out to her and asks whether she really did abduct Lilia. She informs him that her response is the same as the previous, and a look of sorrow appears on his face. Aileen then discloses that the threatening letter and the invitation to tonight's gala came from the same textbook. As Aileen prepares to go, she wishes him luck on his journey with his soulmate Lilia, while he drowns in grief. When Aileen approaches the papers, she reflects on how Cedric gave her much strength in life and how she always thought of him as a comrade in arms, and signs the document. Prince Claude then asks for her hand and insists that she give him the first dance as a free woman. When Claude later reveals that Lilia visited him in the jungle and assured him that she would grant his wish, Aileen becomes jealous. She begins to compliment Lilia on how adorable she is, but he tells her not to worry since Lilia is not her type. He reaches out to kiss her on the cheek as they prepare to part ways for the evening, but as he approaches, Aileen visions him furious and yelling for the destruction of humans. The two then bid each other goodbye before he teleports away. When Sir Keith awakens, he finds Lady Aileen and Belle standing by his bedside, questioning him about the appalling actions he is carrying out by selling demons. He admits that he has been selling demons in secret. Then Aileen informs him that even though Lady Lilia's power has not yet developed, she can still take down the awakened demon lord. She goes on to say that all they have to do to awaken his demon lord form is disclose that his most faithful servant betrayed him and stabbed him in the back. This will be sufficient for him to murder Keith and experience the unpleasant feelings that will elevate him to the position of the Demon King. Sir Keith then reveals that they used to swim in the swimming pool when he was younger. And one day, just as he was about to drown, Prince Claude used his magic to rescue him, and everyone discovered his demonic abilities, which led to his banishment from the palace. He continues that the Count intended to remove him from the land he purchased, but he resolved the conflict by robbing the demons for the Count. Aileen tells him that his weakness is the absence of human allies, and she asks him to be her subordinate. Later, she outlines the scenario of her game and discloses that Prince Cedric and Lilia would learn about Sir Keith first, and that the Demon Lord Cedric would learn about it afterwards. The two will then catch Sir Keith in the act, only to learn that Lord Claude has already slain him. After he despairs and changes into a dragon, the Holy Maiden sword will defeat him, bringing the narrative to a close. She isn't pleased about this, however. The next day, Aileen tells her subordinates that she has a secret weapon, which turns out to be Sir Keith. As she is about to reveal her plans to them, Almond appears from the shadows and informs them that the attackers have arrived. Aileen becomes concerned and immediately leaves. Meanwhile, Cedric and Lilia are talking with Lord Claude about something. They point out that Keith has been secretly disposing of demons. They notify him that they have continued their inquiry without alerting him. Aileen enters just then, and when Lilia compliments her appearance, Aileen responds that she shouldn't speak first in front of such people with high status. She then teases her and she leaves crying. Then Keith tells him that he will explain everything. But before he could do that, he had to do the assignment Aileen had given him. Claude tells him to follow instructions and to be prepared for what's to come. Later, with their consent, Keith cages several demons and waits for the customer to arrive. As they see it from above, Aileen pets Belle's head when he expresses dismay at his inability. As the buyers come, Keith questions the Count about why he sold his property to someone else and shows him the land purchase agreement he made with the Dotrich family. Belle's power allows Keith to take the account book from the Count's grasp and capture him. Aileen sighs with relief, since she believes that what they did narrowly complied with the non-aggression pact. When Prince Cedric and Lilia arrive, his aide knocks Keith unconscious. Then, after striking Aileen and knocking her unconscious, Cedric kidnaps her. The wounded Keith and Belle arrive at the mansion, and Keith confesses to Lord Claude of his failure to repent for his misdeeds and to protect Aileen. Lord Claude leaves to rescue her. Meanwhile, Cedric confines Aileen to a bed and intends to abuse her, telling her that she will be his second wife once he becomes emperor. Suddenly, Claude shows up and uses his magic to eradicate the room's walls. When he sees the Cedric approaching the shackled Aileen, he becomes enraged and turns into a dragon. As she observes this, Aileen is astonished to find out that she has become the trigger. Lilia chooses to use the Holy Maiden sword to end his life. However, just as she is about to attack him, Aileen emerges and takes her attack. She then absorbs the blade and confesses that she also has Holy Maiden blood. Aileen then moves over to Claude's side, embraces him, and tells him that he must return to human form since it will be difficult for her to tame a dragon. The next day, after hearing from Aileen's father that he would only marry his daughter to the Emperor, Claude decides to become the Emperor. During their engagement, it is revealed that Claude will be the future Emperor, with Aileen as his wife. Aileen attends Mirchota City's academy by pretending to be a boy named Ailey. In a flashback, Lord Claude gets a message from the Grand Duke of Mirchota regarding the demon invasion of human communities. He tells him that Ashtarde, a demon, has asked the demon Lord Claude to sever her ties to the human with whom he is betrothed and that he provide them with her head. Hearing the preposterous demand, he decides to visit the Grand Duke. Aileen believes that the demon incense is causing these attacks because it causes people to forget their rationality. She begs him to take her along, but he refuses. She then makes the decision to enroll at an academy in Mirchota while pretending to be a guy. Just as Aileen was warned, she observes the misogynistic activities at the institution. When she notices someone bullying her fiancé, she runs out to save her and advises her to break up with the guy. Aileen is introduced to the student council by August, her escort and a fellow student. As she encounters James, she reveals that he is the game's final boss. The following day, Aileen meets the girl she saved, and her name is revealed to be Rachel. Aileen wonders whether the supposed-to-turn evil Rachel is the same one. Later, she overhears her conversing with the cheerful Selena, the second game's intended protagonist and a fan of Lilia. When August shows up there, Selena chooses to greet him and asks him to accompany her home, but he refuses. He then tells Aileen that she's Lilia's greatest admirer and thinks Aileen to be the worst of villainesses. When August asks James to appoint Aileen as a student council member, he rejects it since an outsider cannot become a member. After much consideration, he agrees to let her in, but only if she investigates a demon that has been terrorizing students by sucking their blood. He then grants Aileen's request for a security force and instructs her to get Lord Claude, the Grand Duke's representative, to sign the document. Later, when Aileen gets a letter from Claude, she chooses to reply. Meanwhile, someone knocks on Claude's office door and he lets them in. Aileen disguises herself as a duck and successfully gets his signature on the document. When Claude reads the letter, he finds it too bland and it starts to rain. When Aileen notices that the rain isn't stopping, she writes a proper letter and the rain stops. Later, when she and Isaac investigate the monster, they discover that Rachel and their teacher are behind it all and scheming. When the teacher starts groping Rachel, Aileen confronts him. He flees and she pursues him. When they arrive in a misty place, she discovers the teacher collapsed in front of James in his demon form. Will James give in to his demonic hunger and attack Aileen? Will she be able to tame the final boss? Find out in the next episodes.